Hello and welcome to the Switzer Property Insights brought to you by NAB. So you're thinking about buying an investment property and you've heard that you can buy it via an SMSF. Sounds great, right? You get to dip your toes in the property market using money that is usually tied up until you reach your 60s. Well, it's horses for courses. By using your super money, you can invest in an asset that you wouldn't be able to otherwise. But there are a lot of other rules around how you buy property in your SMSF, and it may even be worth your while to buy it outside of your super. So let's look at some of the advantages of acquiring a property within an SMSF. It can be tax effective. Super fund net earnings are concessionally taxed at only 15% in accumulation and carry no tax in pension phase. No CGT on sales of the property if held to pension phase. It enables you to purchase property that you may not have been able to outside of an SMSF as the capital was effectively locked away in your super. So there are plenty of reasons to consider it, but I bet it's the last one of those three that gets most people in. However, that's also one of the things you need to be quite cautious of. If you end up using a big chunk of your superannuation savings to buy a property, then you run the risk of being too exposed to one single asset. Now don't forget, your superannuation savings are there for your retirement, not so you can become a property mogul. Diversification needs to be a major tenet of your investment strategy, and an SMSF that owns 5 properties is hardly diversified, even if those properties are in different states. So, what are the major disadvantages? Well, first, if the investment does not strictly comply with the law, you run the risk that your superannuation fund will become a non-complying fund and will lose its concessional tax rate. It could also expose your SMSF to concentrated asset risk. Investment opportunity costs may not be the best asset for your super fund. You might get better returns elsewhere, and it may be more tax effective to do it outside of super. There are also very strict limits on what you can do with an investment property in your SMSF. You can't let it out as a holiday house and use it yourself sometimes, for example, and you can't use borrowed funds to improve the property. You should consider legal advice to make sure your proposed investment will not breach the important superannuation laws, because the consequences of doing so are very serious. So buying within super is an option that could work for some people, particularly if you have time on your side. But in many cases, you could be better off buying it outside of super. Thanks for joining me today, and happy property investing.